Hello everyone and welcome to Sane Minds. The Democrats are at it once again, trying to have a reason to whip up their base. This time it is that 25 states have proposed bills that would make it so that a presidential candidate has to release their tax returns to be on the presidential ballot, which is, of course, unconstitutional. They're not allowed to meddle in federal elections in such a way. 4 states, including California, have already passed these bills in their Senate. And even though they do not have the authority to do so, I could still see them doing it and then, dealing with the consequences later, which I'm sure there would be many. Because if they want to change the policies and the laws to say that a presidential candidate has to do this, they have to change the Constitution itself. They'd have to amend it. And as you could see, 4 of these states, the bills have failed, thank goodness. And the rest of the blue on here are the states where it is still pending, which, I guess they're not counting it just going through the Senate. They're still counting it as pending because it has not been officiated and written into their law. So this is just one more thing that the Democrats are trying to pivot from ever since the Mueller report has concluded, and there has been found to be no collusion or obstruction with Trump and the Russians. So this is just something they're doing to try and keep their base together, trying to rile them up and have them have some sort of hope is really the best word for it. But it's just one more way that the Democrats are trying to cheat the system and rig it in their favor because they don't like Trump. But let me play this video and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Presidential candidates, of course, have been releasing their tax returns since the 1970s consistently. But in the last election, President Trump refused, saying he was under an audit. Democrats will not let the issue go away. In the House, they have issued subpoenas to get those tax returns. And now in 17 states, there are bills pending that would keep the President of the United States off the ballot in 2020 if he doesn't release his taxes. Most of the states were won by Hillary Clinton in 2016, and in 4 of them, the bills have passed in the Senate: Washington, Hawaii, Illinois, and this week in California. 3 of the states were won by Trump: Arizona, Mississippi, and the critical state of Pennsylvania. Democrats say it's about trust and transparency.
Tax returns just go to the core of your true financial interests. And obviously, it's just unprecedented for President Trump not to release his taxes. No one's ever even imagined that someone would do that. And so I think it's a legitimate public policy issue.
There is no law that says candidates have to release their tax returns, and the Constitution only lays out a handful of requirements to be president. One must be 35 years old, a resident within the United States for 14 years, and a natural-born citizen. So the legal debate is whether states which are in charge of conducting elections have the authority to add new requirements for candidates to appear on their ballot.
The Constitution has spoken to that, and if you want to change the qualifications for the presidency, including if you want to add a qualification that says you have to release your tax returns, you need to amend the Constitution to do that.
The Washington State Attorney General, a Democrat who is rumored to be a potential candidate for governor now that the governor of Washington is running for president, gave the legislature the legal opinion that a court would likely conclude the states have the power